live on Facebook, and I'm going to come back to Rod and our room. I'm going to go back into, I'm going to go back here to Zoom,
Yeah, you got
StreamYard,
me up, so I'm
and
going to take myself off.
got it. And um, I'm going to show hide, and I'm going to go share screen. So share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen. And we are live, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with a live podcast. I got a new word for you, everybody, today, a couple new words, and it's going to be a really fun show. I'm really excited to have you all here. Um, let's see here. So if I go to my Zoom channel, we have Mr. Radababa here, and in the middle of the white background, I appreciate all of it. So there's both of us here. Today, everybody, there's two more people in the waiting room. Let's bring them in. Say hello to Rodimus, everybody. Hi, Rodimus. And I have my Doctor Doolittle little whippy Doctor Demento. Doctor Doolittle talk to the animals. That's what happens when you imbibe. Everybody, you can talk to the animals. So it's Jeff Eichen with Weeds Day here, episode 115. Can you believe it? And so I'm gonna bring Solo in. I'm gonna bring Eric in, and here comes my team. Here we're really excited to have everybody popping in today, and if I can find my way that I can move everything around like magic on my second screen, I can even do this, and you can see the man behind the curtain. So it's really fun to see the man behind the curtain. That's me, Jeff Eichen. And sometimes we have the welcome back Cotter afro, but we have a summer cut this week. Everybody, is everybody got their summer cut? I saw last night the bull, the pit bull guy, the guy that sings. Everybody, I saw a pit bull. He had this thing. It looked like a Norelco shaver, but you hold it in your hand, and there was a cartoon of a pit bull. This is how far people will go to make money. At least it's not a nuclear bomb. Okay, so he had this thing, and he put it on his head, and it had three blades on it, and he pushed a button, and he went, and it was on the sports channel, and it was the new Pitbull bald shaver. So you could bald shave your head in 12 seconds and get it all shiny and ready to go bowling. So bowling for dollars. So in your life, stay in your lane, everybody. Today's show is about, obviously, about this beautiful plant, and that's the plant that we love, but nobody should be in jail for a plant. And so Jeff Eichen, 30, 40, 50 years of trying to help end prohibition. I have a shirt on today that is, we don't need anybody burning the light in a dark cell. We want to bring the light. We want to bring it. We want to bring everybody home. And in my lifetime, it's happening. It's happening slowly.
Somebody needs to mute their microphones. They're eating.
Well, the I think we're all muted here except for you and me, and we're good here. We don't want to mute anybody that has the word of reason. So with that in line, everybody, Solo Breezy, come on and meet Grasshopper, Solo Breezy. By the way, everybody, the picture I have next to me, right there, and I'm pointing backwards. I'm pointing outside my room, and it's going right to my good buddy of 30 years, maybe Rodimus Para, maybe 40, maybe 40.
Not 40, but close.
Close. Rodimus was a childhood actor. He played Grasshopper. And so that's one of his original photos I found today and put it on. And maybe we'll go and get a little video that I had. But otherwise, it's really beautiful to have you, Rodimus. Tell us where you are, and if did you ever snatch the bud? I mean, the pebble.
Yeah, I'm in France. Thanks, Jeff. I'm glad to be here. And Yeah, I live in France at the moment. I've been here for the last 5 years. And I did snatch the pebble just about every time we filmed that scene, um, because my reflexes were actually a little faster than the very amazing senior gentleman who played Master Khan. That would be Philip Ahn, who had been an actor for many, many years in Hollywood. And he had been in a car accident before working on the series, and he was walking with a cane. And I tried to be authentic and tried to snatch the pebble, and I did. So of course he's supposed to end up with a pebble, not me. So we had to figure out a way to shoot that scene where I signal off camera that I'm about to go reach for the pebble, so that he can see me signal him, so he can close his hand before I got there. And that's how we solved that problem 50 years ago.
Wow. Well, you look great, brother in arms. I had you come on today because we wanted to honor you, and we have you in France, we have Eric Boone in Portugal, and we have Jason Gann in Spain right now, and a lot's happening in Germany. And you and I were talking about art this week and about the braveness of being an artist. But first, everybody, when Breezy comes back, we will totally have our morning Breezy quote. Breezy is our youngster in the room. He's under 30, and he brings us a quote every day. But right now we have Eric. Let's bring Eric up for a second before I run my intro. And it's my show. I can do it any way I want. So we're dancing and prancing. And Eric, unmute yourself and say hello to Grasshopper.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Yeah, I'm just hop, skip, and a jump away from you here in Lisbon, in Lisboa. I am actually just recently arrived here, but it's not my first rodeo. It's my 16th city in 6 countries. So I've been around the block a few times, but we're doing some great things here, and actually introducing the glorious protestable model of Seattle Hemp Fest onto the European continent. So it's a 30-year free speech protestable, and the pandemic gave us an opportunity to sort of reevaluate our message, and so we're taking this sort of venerable event that takes place on the Seattle waterfront globally to spread the education, the edutainment. So that's what brings me to Europe, and pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, I'm glad you're here. It sounds like you've been doing good things wherever you go, and I'm grateful to share this space with you.
Well, Eric, you know who Rodimus is besides a bro. You know who he is?
Oh yeah, no, I was a big fan of Kung Fu, so yeah, I know the show well, of course.
So that's cool. Yeah, we're all growing up, and and some people don't make it all the way. We have all of our heroes and everything, and Rodimus is one of my heroes. Rodimus, tell them about the day that we went up in John Travolta's airplane.
So John Travolta had just recently sold his DC-3. This is a really old dual propeller sort of workhorse of a plane. It carried the mail, it carried passengers for years and years. The DC-3, the Douglas DC-3, and he had tricked it out, and he was done with it because he was buying jets at that point. So he sold this plane to a Norwegian couple who were living in California, and they made a living by helping a parachuting center take people up into that plane. And it's a perfect plane for a bunch of people to skydive out of with their jump masters, etc. So my soon-to-be wife and I had talked about getting married, and talked about, hey, isn't Leap Year Day 1984 coming up? Why don't we get married on Leap Year Day and get married on a plane and jump out of the plane? and we're like, wow, yeah, we both want to skydive. So we coordinated this event, and we called it A Leap of Faith, A Leap of Faith. And that was how our invitation to our wedding looked. And we invited 10 people on the plane with us. We had another bunch of people waiting on the ground, and Jeff Eichen and several other people, Nancy Ferguson, Guru Bani.
Gudabani was there that on the plane with us.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Jeff, was there, and Judge Porter, an actual judge from Kern County, who was totally enthused about the idea of marrying a couple on an airplane. He was there, so he performed this. He was a judge, and not just a justice of the peace, but actual judge, and he performed the wedding. My wife at that time, my wife, and I exchanged rings and vows on the plane, and then we were already suited up in our matching white jumpsuits, and she took her veil off and put on a helmet. I put on a helmet, and we did our first ever static line jump. So static line is you can either zip yourself to somebody else if you want to free fall for a while, a trained instructor, or you can jump out solo, but you have to have your chute pulled for you as you leave the plane. Automatically, a thing pulls it. You do get a few seconds of free fall before your chute opens. Anyway, so that's what we did. We got married. We jumped out of the plane. She wanted to go first because she thought if I went first, she might not follow me. So she made sure she went first. And I, of course, had to follow her. And yeah, so we floated around in the sky. Our chutes opened, thankfully. We figured that if we landed on the ground alive, that the marriage had a chance of surviving. And it lasted 30 years.
Hey. Well,
around the sky and landed with our friends. And Jeff was on the plane, and he told me, and some of the people said, yeah, you guys left the plane. We were like, wow, why can't we jump out too? We're like stuck on this airplane, man. And they had
somebody had a rope around me, and I was leaning out to make photos of you guys flying out there with my Hasselblad. I don't know, it's down here somewhere, but it's my dad's old big fat film camera, and it was the 80s, and it was before digital cams, you know. My
I don't know if I mentioned Leap Year Day, February 29th, 1984, A Leap of Faith. There you go. That was our performance art wedding.
Eric, you're next. You guys jump out of a plane. So the things we do, everybody, it's really a blessing. We had a whole cultivation package today. I had Justin. So let's call Justin. Call Justin, Siri. And Justin was going to come on. Justin gave me this plant that died. It fell over. It was too heavy. But look at those leaves, you guys. Look at those leaves, you know. And so,
Gotta throw them in the little juicer that you make for wheatgrass, the little expeller that you make wheatgrass with.
Well, wait a minute. I made pesto out of it.
Oh, nice.
I did make
I'm sorry.
So I made pesto out of it, and let's see if we can get Siri to call Justin. Call Justin. So we were going to have Justin on today to tell us a little bit about harvest, because today, this week, this month is in our land is a little bit of a harvest time, and I'm going to text Justin here. You guys just go on and do your thing. And okay, so it was really beautiful to be at his farm this week. And this is a show and tell kind of day. While we were doing our medicinal scurry, we went to get some medicinal mushrooms, and I'm not going to show them all the way, but we've got.
We saw the bag already. We saw that.
So we got two different kinds. We got cyanescence and we've got cubenzas. And my girlfriend of late, that is not my girlfriend right now, so I say late. I spoke with her this week, and that's what she does. She uses microdosing for her pain management, and it really helps her. It really does a beautiful thing. So today's show is dedicated to plant medicine. And last week we had Jason Gann on, and Jason is totally a proponent of plant medicine. And he says to me, he said Jeffrey, marijuana comes from aliens, you know. So we're talking about doing some episodes with him on a code, you know, a cannabis thing that's going to be beautiful and fun. So today's show is dedicated to the plant, and nobody should be in jail for a plant. I even have Jeff Mazansky was going to come on today, and he didn't show on the phone. So I'm going to read everybody this Jefferson City. That's where Jeff Mazansky was in jail for 21 years and 9 months for 2 grams for 3 strikes. And he was in my movie. And Jeff came out during the time that I was making the movie. And Missouri has some important news I'll read later today. But first, we want to say hi to Solo. Solo, the kid in the room, the guy behind us that's going to take care of things when we fly north. You know, so Solo, say hi to Grasshopper and to Eric.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Solo Breezy. I live in Pennsylvania. I'm a Cannabis college graduate. So right now, live on Jeff Iching's Zoom, I am at work at a regular 9 to 5 job. Now you're gonna see me pop in and out, turn the camera off, and listen in. Right? I'm pretty sure I can't be talking about cannabis where I work.
You already are. You already
I
are.
already am, right? I'm already in, but I'm taking a big risk just even doing this whole entire Zoom cast. So you guys got to give me the credit for being a prohibition cannabis activist. So we're doing this while we're trying to keep my job. Also, I just started this new job, so I'm in orientation right now. So I'm gonna be reading this quote, but um, I am a cannabis. Uh, I'm a cannabis activist, thanks to Uncle Jeff and Uncle Eric. They could probably tell you more about me. There's more than quotes to read more about me going to school, but they get me.
We love your quotes. We love your quotes. And by the way, Rodimus, they have a show every morning at 4:20 a.m. The other 4:20, and
That's early.
that's so
Yeah,
early.
so
I've been on
I get
once,
up.
twice. I've been on twice. I've been on
Yeah,
twice.
so this will take place on Twitter Spaces. So I get up like 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't go to bed till 3, 4 in the morning, and then I'm up reading quotes and diving right into cannabis and learning about it. Uncle Eric, he caught me coming in the room this morning late because he'd be like, "Hey, where's my quote for this morning?"
Okay, well, we're ready for your quote, and then I'll run the trailer.
We got you. All right. So real quick, the quote for today, quoted by real two quick quotes. One by the Dalai Lama. Happiness is not something ready made. It comes from your own actions. And then the next quote is quoted by the great Oprah Winfrey. If you look at what you have in life, you always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you will never have enough.
Mm.
Okay, well,
Master Winfrey. Master Winfrey.
Master Winfrey. So everybody pray for we all have abundance. We shake our buns and we have abundance. And we also want everybody to have food on the planet. We're at a point to where we're evolved enough and there's enough billionaires, you know, one of the Muskers or the Microsofters could feed the planet. Are we doing that? Maybe. I don't say yay or nay or take sides, you know, on red or green or black or white or blue or purple. Although I am a black and white lover of photography, I do take sides to stay in my lane, everybody. So stay in your lane, stay focused, everybody, so you can help this lifetime with your own legacy and helping the freedom fighters to bring the prisoners home and to end prohibition. We got Eric in Europe. We got Rodimus now, Grasshopper in Europe. Solos back in the Midwest. Are you Midwest or East?
Pennsylvania. That's all the way on the East Coast, Uncle Jeff.
Oh, you are east. Okay.
East Coast,
Well,
all the way out.
Ham Ham Parade.
Out here representing PA.
Ham
Shout out
Ham
to everybody
Parade.
in
And we
Pennsylvania.
got Jason here. We got Wilfred. He was with us last week. So I'm gonna share my screen, everybody, and then we'll get to a little conversation and find out how Eric's doing and Rodimus are doing. So in Europe. So we're gonna share my screen here, everybody. And I am going to go to my, because I didn't set this up earlier, I'm going to go over to my beautiful computer behind the scenes, everybody. And today seems like a perfect day to run my show here. So let's see if this is the one. Episode trailer. Okay, so today's trailer is a really interesting trailer, everybody. I'm going to open up with QuickTime, and we're behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and every scene. QuickTime's opening up, everybody. Today's trailer is a combination of Lifers, the movie trailer that I did. It's a 1-minute trailer, and it's also a combination of an intro for our show today. So sit back and enjoy, everybody. This is Weeds Day. Let's see if I got the right one on top here. How computers work sometimes blows my mind. And here we go. Ham Parade.
This is Tommy Chong for Lifers. Madness.
Thank you, Hempfest. They inspired me, Vivian and Sharon, to make this run.
I'm Amy Pogo.
And I'm Jeff Mizanto.
And we're for LifersTheMovie.com. Free the plant, free the prisoners.
Free the plant, free the prisoners.
Free the pilot, free the prisoners.
Free the plant, free the prisoners.
Her brother was in jail for 30 years. He's home now, everybody. So it is working. We still got a lot of work to do. That's Jeff Mazansky, by the way, everybody. 21.9 for 2 grams. Thank you, Dr. Raphael Machulam. I got to meet him. There's Jeff on his Outward Bound at the Drug Policy Alliance. Thank you, Jeff. So share this movie and share your thoughts and keep the conversation going. Jeff Eichen for LifersTheMovie.com. Blessings. To end this war on people. Ham Parade. We did it, everybody. We got our we did it. We got our little thing in today. So that was fun. That was my Weeds Day. And Lifers the movie trailer, my new trailer. I just put it in the Activism Film Festival in Colorado, and they're showing it tonight and tomorrow. They're showing my film globally with the Activism Film Fest. And I took it from an hour and 3 minutes down to 40 minutes. And it was like killing, pollywogs. I didn't say the B word, It was like killing pollywogs, taking your children out and sending them to, to school where they had to wear, strict clothing and everything. That's what it was like, having to cut my movie that I had for 5 years down to 40 minutes. But I did it, and I really like the director's cut, the shorter version, and it feels good. It feels trim and slim. And Rodimus has been watching me throughout the years, and been complimenting me on my learning more about less clutter in the scene and design wise. So I'm really excited to grow, to learn. And when Rodimus comes to the States, we're going to do a project together. In the meantime, Rodimus, tell us a little bit about growing up being a childhood actor and the first time you smoked pot.
Okay, well, okay, so the first time I smoked pot, I didn't smoke pot, I ate it. And that was because David Carradine brought some pot brownies to the party celebrating the success of the pilot of Kung Fu. And there was a party at David Chow's house. David Chow was the technical advisor for the first couple of seasons. And he was also a businessman and somewhat of a playboy. So he had this really nice pad up in the Hollywood Hills, and everybody showed up there who was involved with the show. And we were like, yeah, this movie that we made is ABC wants to make a series out of it. So David arrives with his girlfriend, Barbara Hershey Siegel, and carrying a tray. And my mom and I arrived at the same time. I was 12 years old. Like I said, we just finished the pilot, so I think I was growing my hair in at that point, still growing my hair in, because I had to shave it for the pilot. It wasn't originally a pilot, it was just a movie of the week, but it turned out to be a pilot. Nobody knew. So popular. ABC went and did a series out of it. Anyways, long story short, we're there at the party, and I walk into the kitchen, and David and Barbara are there, and they go, oh, I go, what's in the tray? He goes, oh, brownies. I go, oh, I love brownies. So, I grab a brownie off the tray, I eat the brownie, and then, Barbara and David are kind of smiling, laughing with each other, and I'm like, what's going on with them? And I went off the party, and I'm like, oh, I really like chocolate. I love brownies, and there's a whole tray of them.
Oh, no!
So I went back in the kitchen, and I grabbed another brownie, and I ate another brownie. And then about 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, which, by the way, I was thankful that I had found the one and only really, really trick pinball machine that this guy had in his house. And I latched onto the pinball machine, and that's when I started to come on to the THC, which I had no idea I had eaten. So David knew, but he didn't tell me. And so I ended up staying glued to this pinball machine all night, and because I didn't know what else to do, because reality was all kinds of things were happening, and I couldn't look at people when they walked by and be like, whoa, who's that? Whoa.
And you were 12. You were down low. You were 12.
It wasn't that down low, but yeah, I was a kid, definitely the only kid at the party. And so people are like, oh, Rodimus, I go, hi, I'm back to the game, because I knew something was going on, but I didn't know what. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep playing this game and all that. So by the end of the evening, I went back in the kitchen, and David and Barbara were there again. And I was about to leave with my mom, and David goes, hey, Rodimus, those brownies that you ate? I go, yeah. Those were marijuana brownies. I was like, oh, because, my mom had, marijuana at that time in my life. My mom was down on pot. She was down on pot. She drank, but she didn't like pot, and she actually lost friendships because she had some really good friends who were smoke pot. This is the early 70s. Anyway, so she had been down on pot, and so all of a sudden I hear that I've just eaten some marijuana, and I'm being told this by the star of the show, who is also me older, right? I'm him younger in the show, and he's me older. So my older self is telling me that I just had some marijuana, which is completely, antithetical to what my mom was telling me. And so I went through 97 changes. Plus I was blazing out of my head at this point because I eaten 2 brownies, and I was a smaller person, like you said, Jeff. So anyway, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Well, now at least I understand what's going on. Or what happened, why I'm feeling this way. And my mom and I were leaving, and as we were leaving, this really beautiful Playboy model, who was the host's girlfriend, she And I had sort of, had my eyes on her when I wasn't on the video game that night. It wasn't even a video game. Sorry, it was a pinball game. Did I say video game this whole time?
No. You said pinball. You said pinball. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Wait. Have another joke.
Actually, I'm having champagne, guys. This is all that's legal here in France, so champagne is good. It's not as good as marijuana, but anyway. Cheers. Anyway, long story short.
I'm about to get fired on this day, man. I'm about to get fired on this orientation. We got cannabis, we got alcohol, all the things not at work.
At your work, yeah.
It's not at work. It's in the TV. It's in the screen. Not where you are. It's not where you are. Anyway, so let me just wrap this up real quick. So this very pretty lady comes to the door and says goodbye to my mom and I, and leans down and gives me a nice big old kiss. And I thought, oh, so I swooned. I'm like, wow, I got kissed by this beautiful adult Playboy model type girl. And so I'm like, I'm high. I'm like, wow, I got kissed. My mom and I are leaving. So we go down the driveway of this house back to where the car was parked. But in the driveway, there was like a hedge next to the driveway. And I just went, and I leaned into the hedge, and not knowing that behind the hedge was a 40-foot embankment, right? So I go rolling down the embankment. I disappear into the hedge, and I go rolling down the embankment. My mom was like, "Where did you go?" I disappeared, and I because I was so relaxed, I rolled and didn't hurt myself, and I dusted myself off and climbed up the embankment back up to her and came to the bushes, and my mom was standing there, and she's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I go, "Oh, nothing. I feel great." And she's like, "You silly boy." I'm like, "Yes, I'm a silly boy." And then we just walked back at the car. And so that was my first THC experience. Wasn't exactly my choice. So at the time, that was not cool.
So you do have some not Devo but Evo to tell all parents and people out there: don't give children brownies.
Don't give children brownies. Yeah, don't let them be sources of pure entertainment. If you do want to do it consciously with a child of a certain age, I don't know what that age should be, but I would imagine it should be after their brains have formed something, something. Listen, I started smoking pot when I was probably 15. I guess I was 15. Yeah, 15, I think, when I started smoking. So, I probably should have been older, but there's a lot of 15-year-olds who smoke pot at this point in time. We don't know for sure if it's good or bad. We only know that some kids shouldn't have it and other kids can handle it. It's really so individual. And there's also a lot of different reasons why young people start to smoke pot. And those reasons need to be also looked at responsibly. It should be an exploration, not an escape. And if you need to escape, there are other things that you should do instead, like talk to a counselor, get some mental health therapy. Marijuana.
Is that red or white lentils?
Marijuana is a medicine, but it needs to be administered, especially for young people, very carefully. And I just want to say that because it's a responsible thing to think about.
Okay, well, everybody, that's a beautiful thing. I showed the growth, the plant. Today we were going to talk about cultivation. Eric, what's your history with growing? Do you know about the time that we're in right now? It's just about ready to go to flower right now.
Yeah, I'm not really an experienced grower. I've just experimented with different cultivars, but I've thrown in Washington. I threw a couple of my Indian cultivars. I lived in India for about 2 years, and I brought back some seeds from there. And the thing is, they shot up. I had them in 20-gallon smart pots, and they shot up to about 8 feet tall, and they kept falling over. They just got they were these huge sativas. But I had no idea what I was getting. I was just sort of letting nature take its course. I didn't use any special nutrients or anything. and it was probably like a type 2, like a balanced THC CBD sort of landrace. Really myrcene heavy. It was nice, but yeah, I'm not really a good an experienced grower, but I've tipped my hat at a couple. I've gotten a couple harvests, but certainly I'm in I'm humble in company for sure. So.
Cool. And
Uncle Jeff,
yes,
you want to know about growing? Trust me, I got plenty of guests on my list that we can bring in about teach me all about growing. I learned about growing all day from people from Canada, from South Africa, all over. So if you want to learn how to grow, I'll bring them here on the show. You'd be like, "What? You need to know everything about growing."
We would love to have a growing episode.
Context.
That's what today was about, but we're still have empathy and compassion for the prisoners, because that's what we're about, everybody. This is Jeff Eichen with Weeds Day, and we're blessed to have Europe in the house and to have the younger generation in the house. Let's see here. We didn't get Jeff Mazansky, but I'm gonna take a break here for a second here, and I'm going to read everybody the let's see if I can get us here into this mode here where I can read to you all what just happened, what's going to happen, hopefully in, are you guys ready for this? Missouri. So Missouri is where I filmed Jeff Mazansky, and so it's me full screen here. So in the article that I found today says Jefferson County, Missouri. So Jeff Mazansky's been out for now 5 years, and let's see here. Hang on, Rodimus has something to share with the universe here. Don't get fired, Solo. Okay. All right. So we are totally going to read you this about Missouri. So I went to Jefferson City. I flew in there. I got an assistant off of the National Assistant Photographers List of America, and that guy was cool. And we were driving to do my first film of a prisoner in prison. I believe in our whole group, I could be one of the only people that have ever been inside filming lifers in jail without possibility for parole for 3 strikes or anything else. It's more difficult to go in to film a person in federal, and we're trying to get Leonard Peltier and his birthday's coming up. He's going to be 79. He should be home and with compassionate release. So we're very much aware of everything, but this is going to answer some questions for you today. And so everybody, let's get me back on full boat list here. Let's see here if I can.
Jeff,
yeah.
Before
Yes.
after you read that, I have a question that I think would be a good question to ask that I think would be helpful to know what the answer is.
Okay.
I'll just tell you now what it is. You don't have to talk about it now, but I want to just ask you at some point to elaborate. No, just to talk about what exactly got Jeff Mazansky out. I mean, because he was a lifer. So let us know at some point the mechanism that actually got him out.
All right. Before I read this, I'll tell you the answer to that question, because that's a great question. We got 350,000 signatures for Jeff Mazansky. I went in and raised some cane by doing a film. We sent it to the governor. We don't know if he ever watched it. It doesn't matter. The energetics of going forward with the lane that we're driving in, the fast lane, the slow lane, the middle lane, we're doing reform, got to the governor, and he gave him compassionate release. He gave him not full clemency, but he came out on parole. And so for 5 years he couldn't smoke, but he was home. Okay, so there's people that are under the weather now and sick and COVID, and even Lance Glore, we want you home, Lance. I'm wearing the Freedom Grow t-shirt today. Bring a light to a dark cell, everybody. So that's my life's work. And I'm going to be raising money for our golf tournament that's coming up. We're getting Mike Tyson, and we're going to get other celebrities and do a golf tournament next year, 420 weekend. So hold that date, everybody, down in California. And so I'm going to read you this about Jefferson City, where I went to help Jeff Mazansky come out. So that's your answer, is that the governor made that decision. If it was federal and if he was in federal prison, he'd still be in. And he was in for 2 grams, everybody, 2.5 grams. He says it in my movie. And Jeff Mazansky was in for 3 strikes. What an incredible, silly reason for being in jail. 3 strikes. So following Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft's announcement last week that Missouri voters will decide on legalizing recreational marijuana. So, recreational marijuana, okay? So that is really incredible that Missouri, Jeff Mazansky actually helped Missouri to have a medical marijuana legalization. So now they're going for this. Advocates are drawing attention to another key component on the ballot measure, automatically expunging the nonviolent marijuana-related charges of Missouri's criminal records. So can you imagine you carry around your whole life to rent a car or rent a house, do whatever, and you got a federal crime on your shoulder for a plant, for this beautiful, gorgeous plant, everybody. So what we're reading is, if passed, Missouri would be the 20th state to legalize the drug, but it would be the first to allow voters to decide on expunging their records. Woohoo! The proposal would allow for the automatic expungement of pretty much all nonviolent marijuana offenses. John Payne, the campaign director for Legal Missouri 2022, told KRCG 13, Channel 13, Legalize Missouri 22 is the organization behind the initiative and petition. This would be the first initiative in the country that has had automatic expungement. How bitchin' is that, everybody? And I'll use that word as often as possible. So other states have expunged criminal records on similar grounds, but never before by the popular vote. Rather, those policies were approved by legislator efforts. Expungement has also previously been permitted on a case-by-case basis. We don't like that because it just slows everything down. And advocacy director Empower of Missouri said that the effort took time, effort and finances to afford. Instead, the policy would be an automatic process for Missouri's convicted of Missourians convicted of marijuana-related charges. Under this new law, defendants will not need to lift a finger, said Dan Vietz. And I met Dan. Dan helped Jeff Mazansky to come home. Dan Vietz, a Columbia attorney and the Missouri coordinator for National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws, which is NORML. And I know Eric knows about NORML, and maybe Breezy does, and maybe our other people here today. We thought that it was very important to try not to only stop the damage of marijuana prohibition, but to actually go back and undo some of that damage. Empower Missouri was one of the first advocacy organizations to back the proposal, specifically, as Osley told Channel 13, because of the expungement language. Having criminal record limits your access to higher paying jobs, volunteering at your kids' schools, and we really hope that we can use this as an example for moving forward to automate the expungement of lots of criminal records that would potentially be eligible for expungement. So we want everybody to be expunged. I mean, I'm expunged, I guess, maybe, So Jeff Eichen here on WEEDSDAY. We're really excited to have you all today. And we're excited that we have Grasshopper today. We have, let's see, we have Grasshopper giving us another cryptic message here. So we're going to go to our cryptic message gallery spot here. Automate the expungement. Yeah, baby. And you know what? Our Dr. Demento whistle goes for that. And we have, is that Alec, Axel? Who's in the car there? Oh, that's Justin. So Justin, everybody, is here. Can you say hi, Justin? Justin, did you get rugged from your internet connection? That's our grower, you know. I mean, we're not going to expose him, but that's the one that's going to teach us a little bit about where we're at today. And if we can throw some water on his little square, maybe he'll sprout and be able to come back with technology. So we love you, Justin. Thank you so much for all you do. And Eric, tell us a little bit about your move. How's it feeling?
Yeah, it's going well. I mean, we're still in the matrix that is IKEA, like trying to furnish everything. And I just had to move rooms because I just found out that one of the things in Portugal is that the apartments actually don't come with lamps. You have to have those installed later. So I've just sort of got my kids distributed around the house in knick-knack chairs. Like there's an outdoor wicker chair that one of them's sitting in. So it's just sort of a ragtag. We've only been here about 3 weeks, so it's just going to be an ongoing process to do.
How are the kids holding up? How are the kids holding up?
Oh, they're loving it. They're loving it. It's because everyone's really happy and in a good mood. I actually just have to relay this story to Rodimus too, because I went off camera for a little bit when I was over when the intro was playing, and I went up to my son, my eldest son, and I said, "Hey, you know how sometimes I call you Grasshopper or young Grasshopper or young Padawan?" And he's like, "Those are the three main things that I call him." He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I'm actually on a call with the young Grasshopper right now." And he got a big kick out of that. So it's been far out sharing this time with you tonight. So tonight for us anyway.
It's mutual. It's mutual, for sure. Thank you.
That what was it in what did she say in Young Frankenstein? Mutual. It was mutual, very mutual.
Oh, by the way, Jason, you know what's so weird is like in France too.
Eric, that's Eric.
You go to, oh, sorry, excuse me, Eric. Sorry, Eric. You go to rent a flat, and yeah, all you have are little dangling light bulbs from the ceiling with two wires, and you're supposed to put all the fixtures up in every room. And I'm like, does that mean that people, when they move out, they take their fixtures with them? Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave mine because I did a nice job installing my fixtures. So they're going to stay here because I think they look nice, you know, and I want to leave that. I want to leave little dangling light bulbs from the ceiling. So I sympathize with your plight. I just want to tell you that.
I think
I've got
I've
got about 3 that I've purchased at IKEA, but I'm scared to death to install them. I just know that I'll ride the lightning. But it's August in Europe, so you can't find anyone to do it. Everyone's on holiday, especially in Portugal. So actually, it's funny. The guy who runs the coffee shop right across the street from me, I go there for my morning coffee. He just happens to also grow a bunch of houseplants, so I can decorate my terrace. And he installs lamps and blinds. It's just like this jack of all trades, and it's so nice just integrating into the community. And it's just a fantastic transition. And you understand the European tradition. You know, there's a certain we can say je ne sais quoi. For the Iberian Peninsula as well, like there's just that extra level of hospitality. So I'm frantically trying to get my my Portuguese under my belt as well. But it's I don't know. You've been out for 5 years. You mentioned that it's gotten there's just a general melee that we've got in the U.S. right now. And it's not to wax too political, but it's nice to have a little breather from that for a bit. So there's
I was here.
It's
I was
really
here all
nice
the- Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. Sorry.
Oh no, it's just nice being here. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I didn't interrupt. Yeah, no, I was here during the entire previous administration in the U.S. and I got to watch it from a distance, and it was really, I was very sad. I was very sad for America because it's like I never would have imagined. And I know you didn't want wax political, but I'm going to pick up the little thing that you tossed out there and just agree with you. I mean, it's a difficult moment. It was, and it still is. I think we're still. When I say we, I mean Americans. We're still dealing with the fallout because dude hasn't let go. He hasn't let go. So as long as he keeps hanging on to that ragged, red hat of his, we're going to be facing that. And sadly, there's a lot of cynical people because a lot of times I think when there's a really funky administration, people get cynical and they're not giving the current president, I think, a fair shake. I know that there's people think that well, he's too old and he's doddering and whatever, but you know what, he's a Democrat and he was vice president for 8 years. I mean, under Obama, one of our best presidents from some people's perspective, and I just think Biden's getting a lot of crap that he doesn't deserve, really, to be honest with you. He's trying to make some good changes happen. So,
Flipping that.
Go ahead.
Flipping that environment bill through just now was a political masterclass.
Excellent. Yes. Well, there was a lot of cleanup. There was a lot of cleanup after JB, after George, because we had 9/11. Okay. And so there, and all the lies and all the cries and everything that allows us to be in the dark. So let's just stay on the green side right now. We're going to see if we can get Justin to come on. He's coming back in, and I think his phone is loading up, and he'll tell us a little bit about how the harvest is going. But everybody, how you doing? How are your plants going out there in I guess in Weedsday land? We're here every week. We're on episode 115. Oh, we got Grand Woo. We don't even have Justin and Grand. Hey, Grand always comes in and just hangs out and learns a lot. Maybe he can hang. Do you know Grand Woo, Breezy? Do you know Grand Woo?
Breezy's trying to keep his job right now.
All right. Do you know Grand Woo, Breezy?
I know Grand Woo because of you. I haven't talked.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he came on your 420 show in the morning. Well, anyways, Grand.
I met him through you, so he only comes through here that I know of him. Still waiting to get in contact with him offline.
Oh, fantastic.
Grand Woo in the room.
Hey, Grand Woo, we're great to have you. Blessed to have you. Well, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for sharing your voice with us. Any words of wisdom from you today? Grand Woo?
From me?
Yeah.
Oh, words of wisdom. Well, I'll tell you from personal experience. If you're fasting, when you finish fasting, take it slow. I didn't, and I suffered from it. So that'll be my words of wisdom for today.
Hey, a testimonial is way better than reading it out of a book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah. And Breezy, do you have a final quote for the day? We're coming to the top of the hour pretty soon here.
Absolutely, I got a quote. Go ahead, give me like 3 minutes.
Okay.
I've got a quote for you.
Okay.
I got you.
And how about a wrap up? Rodimus, we have Grasshopper on today from the original Kung Fu series. Somebody walking around the globe with a knapsack and fighting for freedom, and for truth and for awareness, and Sholon Masters and everything. Any final words from the original Grasshopper, everybody? Maybe we'll get Rodimus to snatch the bud, everybody, in a little commercial when he comes back to America.
I've got better commercials for that in my already laid out in script form.
Yay!
But,
Yay!
doesn't need to be me, but thanks. Hey,
Final words.
gosh, final words. Well, okay. So, what you're doing, Jeff, is a form of art, I think, in my opinion. And I just recently came back from a really amazing festival here in Europe that was all about intercultural art exchanges, and it's been going on for 75 years. This festival called Documenta, and this was Documenta 15 that just happened once every 5 years, and this was a really amazing gathering of artists who've been working for the last 2 years to present collaboration. This is the theme this year, seems to be collaboration and healing the planet. There was a lot of awareness, a lot of global awareness. Even the smallest villages know that multinational corporations, international thief, to quote Fela Kuti, these people have been out doing their nefarious, greedy grabbing of resources and exploiting peoples and putting complete nations into debt in perpetuity to be able to control them. And the indigenous peoples of these places know that. They know that this has been a purposeful effort on the part of these government-led corporations, or corporate-led governments, I should say. And they know it. They know that that's been happening. They're not stupid. They're not in the dark.
So to keep on your thread, you're talking about this art show that you went to in Germany.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say where it was, Jeff, but thanks for that. So the awareness is there on the part of all people. They know, even if they're in the remotest village, they know that it's this entity outside of their world, outside of their country, outside of their mind space that has invaded their space and has imposed their greed onto them, and they are not having it anymore. There is a worldwide, I don't want to say revolution, that sounds too pretentious. There is a worldwide awareness, and there is a worldwide acknowledgement that oppression and indebtedness of nations has been perpetrated, and it must stop. The awareness is there. All it takes first is awareness, and action will follow.
So you're saying the artists are stepping up right now, as always, and they are part of the solution.
Exactly.
Fantastic. And as we navigate and we go around the European continent to go to our art shows, remember there's Art Basel, there's crypto art now, there's the NFT world. We're going to be having an art auction at the events that we're going to be doing, and then we're going to come to Europe. We're going to visit, and there's beautiful champagne from the Champagne region, and we won't get into that right now. But it's harvest time, everybody, or it's flower time. And Eric, any final words? Thank you so much, Rodimus, for joining us today.
I'm honored to be here, Jeff. Thank you for inviting me.
Any shout outs, Rodimus, to the prisoners?
Wow. Wow. Thank you. That's a big offer. Keep the faith. We're coming for you. Things are changing. Your best days lie ahead.
Okay, fantastic. Just like Jeff Mazansky, we want to see you all walking out. Eric, any final words?
You can't follow the wisdom of grasshopper, but those were great words and great efforts. And I guess in our own small way, HempFest is trying to do the same thing through our version of art, our protestival model, where we have music from all over the world represented on our stages, and voices from all over the world, and we're bringing that to the European continent with a slightly varying message that is addressing the greatest existential crisis of our time, which is the heating of the planet and the need to reverse the just atrocious way we're treating our biosphere right now. And we at HempFest feel that hemp is a big solution for that in the form of hempcrete that builds structures that are actually carbon negative and continue to sequester carbon as the hempcrete cures. Hemp graphene batteries, just hemp as a renewable resource in textiles and fabrics. These jean shorts that I'm wearing right now are based partly on hemp. We need to start practicing what we preach. So
my bag is hemp. Look at that. My bag is hemp.
Love it. Yeah. My workout bag and my workout shirts that I wear every morning, they're all hemp.
I mean, why have dirty cotton anymore on the planet, folks? Why have pesticides when this is naturally a pesticide? This plant will grow 20 feet, will make fabric, will make medicine, and I can't tell you it works, but look, is that not working, everybody? Look at that sexy. It's got an old phone, a flip phone holder.
Eric knows well that those plants can grow 20 feet, right, Eric?
Yeah, my house almost paid the price, but yeah, that's so yeah, I laud your efforts. It's amazing to see your passion and your wisdom in this direction, and we at HempFest are trying to do our small part as well. So when HempFest comes to the country of France, I'm hoping that we can count you among our honored guests.
Hemposium, we'll have Rodimus at Hemposium.
Let me also mention to you, Eric, that my heritage is Basque. I'm a quarter Basque, so that's right next to you, right there. So I would certainly like to represent my heritage. If that can in any way help, if that can help you get me there to help you, I'm all for it. Just let me know.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend time with you today.
We'll be basking. We'll be basking. in your sun and your shine, Rodimus. It's been so fun having you today. And Solo, you have our final oh wait, any shout outs to the prisoners, Eric?
We're doing what we can from the outside. It's atrocious what's going on, and it feels as though our efforts are too often falling on deaf ears. But we do see a change in the tides coming, and just mimic once again what Rodimus says: keep the faith. We're not giving up.
And look at the final line, everybody, on this Missouri, eligible for expungement. So we're coming for you, everybody. And Solo, give us your final quote, please. We love having you.
No doubt. Real quick before I give out quote, let me give a couple shout outs if you cool with that, Uncle Jeff. You cool with that?
Yeah, come on.
All right, real quick, shout out to Jeff Eichin, shout out to Eric Boone, shout out to Mr. Green, Mr. Grasshopper, shout out to Woo. Also want to give a shout out to Rick Naya, Cannabis, the app, and all the other fellas filming this, so y'all stay cool out there. Real quick, the quote for today. First quote quoted by the great Eminem, aka Slim Shady. The truth is, you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Life is a crazy ride and nothing is guaranteed. Next quote, quoted by the great Aristotle. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. And last quote for today is quoted by the great Buddha. Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. So Breezy, look, I'm at work on a real 9-to-5 job.
Hey.
This 9-to-5 life and go work in the cannabis industry. I'm dedicated, ready to go. Hey, if I get fired, let's hope I find a cannabis job real quick and steady. Love y'all.
Hey, would you like to ride a Buddha?
Sure. I've never met one yet, but I'm down.
Okay, because that's coming pretty soon, right, Rodimus?
Up to you, Jeff.
Well,
Now, since we're connected in Portugal, I want you guys to kind of fly me out to France.
yep. We'll all get the gravy train going here, and be in the circle of light. So everybody, thank you for joining us today. And we couldn't get Justin on, but he did show his mug there. And Gran Wu, any final words, Gran Wu?
No, I just appreciate the information.
Thank you for joining us, Gran. We love having you when you pop in. And
I want
Rodimus,
to say, Jeff,
yeah.
Jeff, just want to say a shout out to Jeff, as was done already once before, but I'm going to do the same thing, creating this space, Jeff, that's no small effort. Takes a lot of coordination, a lot of dedication, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of gear. And we're all grateful that you've created a space for this because it's all part of the solution. So thanks for being part of the solution, Jeff.
Thank you. Everybody, hold up 3 fingers for our thank you photo. And here we go. Breezy, forward. No, turn it. There you go. Yeah, no gangy. We got to do it bangy. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, hemp hooray. Okay, everybody, I'm going to share my screen. Anybody wants to stick around and talk to me afterwards, stay there. But I'm going to share my screen and do the outro. And it's been a blessed day today for all of us. And here we go. Hemp hooray.
This is Tommy Chong for Lifers. Madness.
I'm Amy Pova,
And I'm Jeff Pizanti.
and we're for LifersTheMovie.com. Free the plant, free the prisoners.
Free the plant, free the prisoners.
Free the pilot. Free the prisoners.
Free the plant, free the prisoners.
There's Jeff Mazansky, everybody. 21.9 for 2.5 grams. Third strike. Let's be done with it all. Bring them all home.
Something happened in me.
There's Jeff when he came out at the Drug Policy Alliance. The example we should have for everybody, and hopefully Missouri will share this movie and share your thoughts and keep the conversation going. Jeff Eichen for LifersTheMovie.com. Blessings. To end this war on people. Hemp hooray. That was actually the Whale Foundation that gave me that. They allowed me to use the whale recording. So that's a whale, everybody. We have climate warming. We have the coral reef. We have things that we have to deal with. Stay in your lane, everybody. Jeff Eichen here with Weeds Day. Let's see if I can. There we go. There's me in big big letters, and I got my shirt on from the incredible Freedom Grow, and there's lots coming up. We're gonna be doing a golf tournament and a big concert. So if anybody knows Snoop, call me up. Let's go get Snoop and Earth, Wind, and Fire, Melissa Etheridge, any 420 great big bands to make the noise loud enough to get the rest of them home. 350,000 signatures got Jeff Mazansky home. I'm going to end our episode here on, I'm going to end it on our broadcast here. Thank you so much, everybody, here on PODT.